In the hills of Galilee, as Jesus walked with his disciples, he often shared parables to teach them the deeper truths of God's kingdom. One day he gathered them around and began to speak. Listen, my friends, to the story of a humble farmer named Levi. Levi was a man of modest means, but he had a heart full of faith and a spirit that persevered against all odds. Levi's land was not the most fertile, and his harvests were often sparse. Each season he sowed his seeds with care, praying for rain and favorable weather. Despite his hard work, there were years when the rain did not come, and the sun scorched his crops. Other times, pests would invade his fields, leaving him with little to harvest. One particularly difficult year, Levi faced a severe drought. His neighbors, losing hope, began to abandon their fields. Some mocked Levi for continuing to toil on what seemed to be barren land. But Levi did not lose faith. He remembered the words of the prophets and the promises of God. Each day he knelt in his fields and prayed, "Lord, I trust in your provision. I believe that victory is yours." One night as Levi slept, he had a dream. An angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, "Levi, your faith has been seen in heaven. Rise up each day and continue your work, for the Lord is with you. Though you do not see it now, your harvest will be abundant, and you will be a testimony to your neighbors." Encouraged by the dream, Levi continued his labor with renewed vigor. He watered his crops sparingly with what little he had, shielded his plants from pests as best as he could, and prayed continually. As weeks turned into months, a miraculous thing happened. Clouds gathered and rain began to fall, gentle at first, then in a steady downpour that revived the earth. Levi's crops began to grow lush and green, stronger than they had ever been. His fields flourished, and the yield was bountiful. When harvest time came, Levi's barns overflowed with grain. His neighbors, witnessing the transformation, came to him in awe. "How did you achieve such a miracle, Levi?" they asked. Levi smiled and replied, "It was not my doing, but the Lord's. I trusted in his promises and did not give up, even when all seemed lost. Victory belongs to the Lord, and he has blessed me beyond measure." Jesus paused and looked at his disciples. "You see," he said, "Levi's victory was not in his own strength or wisdom, but in his unwavering faith in God. In your own lives, you will face trials and hardships. But remember, victory is not achieved by might or power, but by the Spirit of God. Trust in him, persevere in faith, and you too will witness the miracles of his provision and grace." The disciples nodded, taking these words to heart. They understood that the true victory in life comes not from earthly success or ease, but from a steadfast faith in God's promises and the assurance that he is always with them. And so, the parable of Levi, the faithful farmer, became a cherished lesson among Jesus' followers, a reminder that with faith and perseverance, victory is indeed theirs through the Lord.